Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope that you are still doing absolutely fantastic. Now I'm probably going to share this on a separate night, but this is just a follow-up to what we were just talking about. This is the moment when someone has actually breached your home and they are now within your home. And I have to tell you that this is going to be a really hard conversation, and you're going to have to, unfortunately, make some decisions at this time as to how you're going to defend your home. Now, remember I said that my house is already defended, and I felt like she showed me how to kind of protect it. So I think what we talked about in the very beginning was how to protect your house. It's how to keep the general burglar or the individual who just kind of comes up on your house. It's how to keep those guys or gals out of your home. Now what I'm talking about now is how to defend your home. This is once they're on their way into your house and they honestly mean you harm. So there are just going to be some things that you're going to have to do to protect yourself. Bottom line. And I'm sorry to be the one to give you this conversation, because I am the kind of person who loves everyone, but I have to tell you I love you until you break into my house, and then I may love you as a human being, but I'm going to take you down, and you need to know that. So, and I've always been that person. I think that I grew up kind of strong. I grew up out in the country, so probably when it comes to stuff like that, I'm probably tougher than you would expect. So here we go. I'm going to tell you some things, and you might think I'm absolutely loony, but my house is defended, so here we go. First thing that you need to know, there are some things that can be your friend. If you've done everything that you can to make sure that your house is protected and those noises are going off, it's going to give you a few seconds to do and prepare the way that you need to do and prepare. So the things that I'm going to show you, I'm going to ask that you take some time to really think about what your willingness is, because the things that I'm going to show you only work if you're willing to put them into action. So if you're going to put them into action, that's really great. Heed what I'm saying to you. If you're not willing to put those in action, don't have any of them near you, because they could be turned on you, and it could go much worse for you than if you were to just kind of sit there and be like, okay, do whatever it is that you're going to do. So you have to decide, what person are you? Are you the passive person who's going to be like, okay, somebody's in my house, I don't know what to do, I'm going to call 911, and I'm going to let the chips fall where they may? And listen, there's no judgment there if you're that kind of person. Just know that you are that kind of person. When you hear those alarms go off, don't even make a move. Go ahead and pick up the phone, dial your 911, state the situation, then find somewhere to hide. That's the most important thing. Make that phone call first, and then go find somewhere to hide. So then your job is done. It's okay if you're that kind of person. Let yourself off the hook, all right? So those of you I want who feel like that might not be the best solution for you, I want you to think about where you're willing to go, and go as far as you're willing to go. But know where that is and make sure that you're willing to do that, or go be that passive person who's going to go hide somewhere. First thing up is this right here. Found this little dandy Louisville slugger at a yard sale has been with me for a very long time. You can tell I'm starting to slide a little bit throughout the years. I promise you it stays very close to me. I will not tell you where it is, because I would never, my guy doesn't even know where I hide this little beauty, but I can guarantee you that it is within 1 second of wherever I am in my home at any given point in time, and it has always been that way. So the first thing that's going to happen when those alarms go off, I'm going to, from my home phone, pick it up and dial 911. I don't even know that I'm going to stay on the line. Like, I am heading out to defend my house, and that you might think that I'm absolutely crazy, but here's the thing you probably need to know about me. I'm really bad at playing baseball, because the little ball is hard to hit, but when I do hit that ball, I knock it out of the park. So I promise you that when I come out swinging, I will not hesitate, and I will swing until that person or persons are down. So that's really important. I know I know where I lie. Like, I know that I would have no problem knocking somebody out with a bat. Like, I would. I'm not saying that I want to kill them, but I want to knock them out. Or I want to knock them down so I can get away. Like, I don't know how or what. Like, I might need just enough time to grab my keys and make it to my car, but I know I'm not the one that wants to go hide and take my chances somewhere. I'm going to be aggressive, so I will be heading out. So bats are always a good idea. Please, if you don't think that you're the person who's going to be able to swing on it, like let's say that you know, you just don't feel like you could get enough action with it. Like if you think that when you go to swing, you couldn't do damage because you're going to have to go fast, right? You're going to have to come in low and go fast and really hard. And if you don't feel like you can do that, this bat is not your option, because if you're not bringing enough power with it, they're just going to grab it and they're going to use it on you. So make sure that you can do it before you start it. Next thing. It's, everybody's got one or two or three. When you order your set, get extra. Make sure that you have them in a couple of places in your home. Now, again, make sure that you are the person who is willing to use this, right? I keep these in certain areas throughout the house, and if something should go down, I have no problem. Now, I don't necessarily want to kill anyone. I just want to make sure that I can get out. And if I have to, I don't know, if I have to cut you in your ankle or your knee or your arm or whatever it is that I have to do to, and I'm going to go deep enough, by the way, to make sure that I can get out and go do what I need to do. I know that may sound very harsh, because I know that when we talk, it's all fun and love and it's about purses. But now you've entered my space and you're trying to hurt me, and I'm going to come at you pretty hard. So I just want you to know that this is a really good option. Now, I do also want to give you a couple of warnings with this. Number one, it's the same with the bat, right? If you're not willing to come strong and hard with it, don't even bring it out. Because, again, if you're not bringing force with it and they get a hold of your hand, then they can use that on you. And they are totally willing to harm you, way more than you're willing to harm them, right? So if you're going to bring that out, make sure that you're ready to make that connect with the individual who's in your house, no matter who it may be. I don't care if it's Bob, who is Susie's husband, and he's been around for the past 3 years helping you change light bulbs. If he is in your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, Bob means you no good, and he is out to get you, and you're going to have to take Bob down. Or you can go hide somewhere. I mean, again, no judgment on wherever you may find yourself on this scale. I hope that you're not sitting there going, what? I can't believe she would do that kind of stuff, because at that point, I'm just about safety, and I'm just trying to make sure that I stay alive, and I'm not, like, I would prefer that person stay alive and go through the court system, but I'm not so sure that I'm concerned, you know, if they have to struggle a little bit medically in order to stay alive. You understand? I'm just trying to keep myself safe. The next thing that you can do, and I know that some people are going to freak out about this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There are also firearms that you can choose, and make that decision what kind of person you are. If a gun is something that frightens you in any way, I really don't recommend that. If a gun is something that you're willing to become comfortable with, I do recommend finding out what the laws are in your state, and maybe going through a couple of classes to see if it's something that's for you. There's also, you know, like in certain states, depending on where you are, you have to have a certificate in order just to have it in your home. There's other states, like Florida, where you can easily get one, not easily, I mean, you do have to go through a background check, but you can also, so you can have one in your home. There's also things like concealed carries. So, you know, depending on your level of how you feel about keeping yourself safe, you know, I want you to make sure that you go there. I'm going to say for any of these things, you need to make sure that you're well prepared on how you would use them. And, you know, especially, you know, to me, especially, I'm going to talk about a little bit, just a moment for the gun. If you decide that a gun is something that you want to have in your house, like, there's no judgment here from me at all about it, but what you need to do You know, don't just get it and sit in fear with it sitting in your drawer or under your mattress or, you know, by your pillow when you go to sleep. You know, find yourself a firing range. Find someone who has a lot of knowledge. Go take some classes. Make sure that you are knowledgeable enough to be respectful of that firearm that you will now have in your home. Make sure that you're willing to use it. Think about it. When you go to the firing range, and you will have to do that in order to make sure that you are an accurate mark, right? When you go there and when you do that, think about what that will be like. Do things to prepare yourself. Most guns these days have safeties on them. And when you go to a firing range, you have to empty your gun, whether it's a revolver, you'd have to pull all the bullets out. If it's a semi-automatic, it comes with a clip. You'll have to empty your clip. You have to empty your chamber. You'd have to, and it's called racking the pin. You'd have to pull that, and you'd have to get that bullet out. You have to lay everything down on the table because it's a safety measure. And then once you do that, you start from the very beginning. I'm going to recommend to you that if you do that, what I'm asking you to do is when you put your clip in, I'm going to ask that you lay it down again with the safety on, and that you pick it up and you click your safety off and you rack the pin before you actually go to shoot. And that's going to do a couple of things for you. That's going to teach you muscle memory. And that muscle memory is every time I pick up my gun, I have to take the safety off and I have to rack it, right? And what that's going to do is at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not even going to think about it. You're going to roll out of your bed and you're going to grab your gun, you're going to flip your safety off, and you're going to rack that pin, and you're going to be prepared. Now, when I say that, what that really means is that is a very lethal and deadly thing that you will have in your house, and you will need to be respectful of it. You will have to be knowledgeable about it. You will have to have practiced that, because bullets take things up a whole level. Most of us live in suburban, city-dwelling, areas where, you know, it's not like it was in the Wild West where it could be miles before, you know, anyone was around you, and if someone broke in your house, you could take your shotgun and just shoot somebody, and if you missed, it would be like pew pew, like on the old westerns, and you could try it again. You really don't get many tries if someone is in your house trying to harm you in any way. And the scary thing about that is that if you miss, the houses are so close. So if you're going to do something like that, please be ever so careful, because there are children and there are families that are in these houses that are near you. So make sure that if that's something that you're going to do, make sure you are well practiced, so the chances of you actually missing your mark are very low, right? You know, some people are more bothered by it than others. Like I said, I grew up in the country. That's how I know how to talk to you about those kinds of things. Whatever it may be, however you want to choose to defend your house, absolutely, again, no condemnation here. Like, I'm not thinking anything. If you don't want to be a part of it and you want to run and hide, please plan now where that's going to be. Like, if you have a way of setting it up before you go to bed to get into an attic situation, like if, you know, and I'm not talking about like where you run upstairs and you get into an attic. I mean, like if you have a ranch situation and you can get up into the crawl space where they're not able to really find you, and you could pull ladders up and do all that kind of cool stuff. You know, I would recommend going that route if you are that person who is, you know, someone who doesn't want to become, does not want to face that person aggressively, right? And you certainly don't want to be attacked, right? So I would say plan that out. Know where you're going to go. Are you going into the attic? Is the closet your best place? I don't recommend that, by the way. You know, is it going to be in the bathroom? You know, is there a special window that you think that you could get to, that you could go out and just run? Like, is there a field by your house that you could get out the window and just run and they wouldn't be able to find you? You know, figure those things out. Keep yourself safe at the end of the day. So really, there you go. You have got some ideas now on how to protect your house, keeping people, as many as you can, from feeling like they need to come into your house. And now you also have the knowledge of how to defend your house. How far are you willing to go to protect yourself? Are you willing to find that safe place where you can be safe? Are you the kind of person who has children? You may need to go a little bit farther to make sure that your children are taken care of. Is a bat your speed, or is it a knife that you just want to be able to do something and then get your children out safely? Is it a firearm, where you want to just completely neutralize the situation and make sure that everyone in your family is taken care of and safe? Those are the decisions you're going to have to make. I wish you well with those decisions, because those are hard decisions for everyone. It's hard to know that there are people out here that are individuals that are willing to harm you. They're willing to actually kill you. And I don't think that it was until the police officer sat me down and said, look, this person that you think is such a sweet kid, because I kept saying, he's such a nice kid and I don't want to get him into trouble. And she had to sit me down and say, listen, I don't think that you're even getting this. This person does not mean you good, any good. This person means you harm. Or they wouldn't have been trying to scratch at your window at 2 o'clock in the morning. They wouldn't have been knocking on your doorbell at 5 o'clock in the morning. They wouldn't have been trying to get you in your car. What do you think he was going to do when he got you in your car and away from your house? Where do you think? I mean, like, did you think that you were going to walk out of that unscathed? So it wasn't until those kinds of conversations started to happen that I really realized that there was an individual who was not looking out for my good, that they were looking to harm me. And that's a really hard thing for me to wrap my mind around, that someone would harm another person. And yet I know that we see it all around every day. So prepare yourself, because the next time it might be your home. And that's my whole wish for you this evening, and the reason why I came back to talk about this was to make sure that you are safe. Please, please be safe, no matter what method you choose. There was a subby who we were kind of talking back and forth, and that individual says that she used to do fire drills with her kids. So I'm going to actually recommend that you do housebreaking drills. Know what you're going to do so that when the time comes, that also becomes muscle memory. Please, I love all of you. I want you to be safe. Be as safe as you possibly can, and I will talk to you again very soon. If this video was helpful for you in any way, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, I don't know who this person is who doesn't enjoy my things, but I think that you must like it enough to keep watching. So I thank you. Even if you thumbs down, that's absolutely fine. Take a moment to comment down below to tell me what your thoughts might be. I have to tell you, please be nice, because there are people who are going to choose to run, and I don't want you to belittle that. And there are people who are going to want the other end, and they're going to want a firearm, and I don't want you to belittle that, because everyone has to feel safe, and they have to be able to take care of themselves in the way that they see fit. So I guess there you go. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you haven't already, take a moment to subscribe. Thank you, everyone. Be safe, be safe, be safe.